traumatic events in my life that have, yes, they have swayed me in one way or the other, like the death of my son, Mr. Bell.
Sure.
But just because of the death of my son, I don't hang this, okay, God, it's your fault. The death of my son was meant to be. I wake up sometimes, Mr. Bell, with a longing for my baby, for my 5-year-old child that was taken away from me by my husband, who I am no longer with. By his hands, he took the life of my child, and I will never forgive him for that. He is no longer on this earth now, and I will never forgive him for that act. But that did not thrust me into this satanic belief of mine. This is something that I longed for even as a child. It was my birthright. There was a time when me and my brother, I'll never forget this, we were on a trip one time, and he was praying to God, and we were young, Mr. Bell, and I got down by him on my knees, and my big bro, years older than I and so forth, and was looking at me, and I was sitting there, and I said, my little prayers, and when I got through saying it, just out of nowhere, I went, hell, Satan, hell, Satan. He jumped up off the floor, and he looked at me like, what?
Yeah.
And I looked up at him, and I just went, I don't know. And I ran and crawled in my bed, and I threw the covers up over my head out of embarrassment. It was something I didn't even plan. It was something that was just it just happened, bang, right there. It just happened.
Mm-hmm. Here's another fax.
Yes.
This is the most important question you could ever ask the harlot.
Ooh.
Ask her, how will God, in the end time, smite Satan, the devil, and all his followers? She will not know the answer.
He will smite us down in the end, when the angel comes down from heaven with the keys in his hand. And those keys will be the keys of the bottomless pit that angel will open. First, he will be cast there for 1,000 years and placed there. And then the angels will come down and loose him. And for 1,000 years, for a little season, he will be able to roam once again in order to establish the satanic rebellion on earth, greater than anyone could ever fathom right now. And in the end, fire shall come out of the mouth of God, and it shall devour us. Satan shall be cast and thrown into the pit, where the Antichrist and the false prophet already are.
Actually, I think you did get it right. The answer is that in less than a blink of an eye, all the evil that they have done unto mankind will be thrust upon them, burning them and leaving them only the pain and hell that they have created for others. Their karma will be complete.
And that is absolutely true, and we fully accept it.
Well, I think you gave the right answer. First-time caller line. First-time callers call area 702-727-1222. Okay, we're going to have to start all over again. The one thing we don't want you to do is to put your last name on the air, dear. Okay. So let's begin again. Your name is?
Tara.
Tara, and where are you, Tara?
Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
The home of Rush Limbaugh.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a practicing druid. First, I'd like to say I appreciate her honesty. I understand that there's a balance on this planet between good and evil, and I respect her decision. And I believe her because there's a lot of people who claim to be Satanists, but they're just drug addicts and they're trying to rebel.
That's not what you're hearing from her.
Right. I don't believe magic is evil, though, because I choose God. I don't believe in Jehovah or Jesus necessarily. I think he was a prophet, a very intelligent person. I use magic as a tool to better my surroundings, to improve myself. And I believe God resides in nature, so I'm not really going against him.
Where, though, do you think that power comes from?
Like I said, God resides in nature, and God is with all people. And I draw from that which is in me, that is a part of God.
Is what she says possible, Harlot, or is she fooling herself?
Well, I will be honest. Is her name Tara?
Mm-hmm.
Tara? With all due respect, may I ask your age, please?
I'm 21.
21. Oh, I remember when I was 21.
Mm.
Tara?
Yes.
With all due respect, keep going that way, hon. I hope you keep believing it, and I hope that you never sway from your faith, because I will welcome your presence in that unholy cup of tea, if you will, that we will sip together in fire and brimstone. And let me tell you, Tara, let me finish, please.
Okay.
If you search your scripture, now I can understand, the human race has always ran. We're a race of runners just as much as we are a race of barbarians. We run from reality. You sound like to me that you are running because you're not willing to walk out on a limb, and below that limb there is nothing. And to hang on it and to believe that there is a one true God and a one true devil.
Yes.
The scripture says that anything, witchcraft, astrology, and so on and so on, it's in the New Testament, hon, is not of God.
What I am confused with is you say, you sound like you believe that the Bible was written by God. Okay.
Now listen to me. That is my mission, is to confuse people.
That
is my mission, because the more people I confuse, and if they die confused, and all of a sudden they give up their ghost, and they die, and they do not ask for repentance, then my mission is successful. That's all I set out to do. You can do your little witchcraft, you can play your little games, you can use all your little toys, but the bottom line is that my mission is to keep you happy. Satan keeps you happy.
See, I know
Satan
the power
wants you
is
to
not
believe
in
it.
the ritual. You can use as many crystals and stuff as you want to.
I don't use those.
But no, a lot of those Wiccans do, and they think that's where their power comes from doing this and that just
They
right.
do. Yes, they
That's
do.
not where the power is at.
And they're blinded by Satan, and if Satan keeps blinding
and I know
them,
right
more
now,
power to it.
I know right now both sides are sniffing each other out, and we're just drawing the lines.
Well, hon, the lines that we're going to draw are these. We will clean the field of the middle in order to establish the ultimate battleground between God and Satan. Everyone else in the middle will be not only not crushed by the hand of God, but will be crushed by Satan. We want to destroy the middle, wipe it out, and in the end, you will be crushed in order for us to establish the battleground to take on God face to face.
I do have a question. What? So do you think there are only Christians and Satanists? What about Hindus,
ma'am,
who are in for the light?
Let me tell you something. This is nothing new. There is only one evil and one good. And until the world begins to wake up to it, hey, that's just the way it is. I prefer people who proclaim God over people who practice an evil art and not accept the Father of it. I'd rather sit down and have a decent dinner and a casual conversation with a preacher of a holy faith than to sit down with people who practice magic but are not willing to accept the consequences nor the Father, the one true Father of all evil. And magic is evil in any way you look at it. Any way, hon, it is not a natural thing. It is not a natural human trait to want to practice magic. It's not. You have to be willing to accept the consequences of what you're doing.
I clearly understand what you're saying. From Dale in Atlanta, the following. Art, I really admire your guest. She seems to have a sort of sexual magnetism, almost erotic.
Ooh.
Is this also one of her entrapping characteristics?
Yes, it is. I will, especially young virgins. I love to find a young guy out there, sway my magic upon him, place him under my spell, allure him with fantasy of sexual fulfillment.
Well, then I guess I don't have to really ask you this next question. We've heard Patsy's beliefs. Now, what things does she do to advance Satan's cause? That clearly was one of them. What else?
Another one to advance Satan's cause is, like I said, I constantly bombard the Christian faith. I love, let me give you an example. I love calling the 700 Club telemarketers, the people who, on their little prayer lines, I like giving them the time of day.